Hello and welcome to Ask MandR episode 257, the series where I answer your questions. So if you have a question you want to answer in next week's episode, make sure you leave it down in the comment section below. And while you're there, hit the like button for the new house. Yes, I have a one-bedroom house. This is all of it. My kitchen is right there. My showers, no, I'm kidding. This is just one room of a few, and it's exciting, yeah, right? It's a little bit more than we had at my parents' house, so I'm like really pumped about it. The lighting and audio is probably going to be a bit weird for a few videos. I have to like change out these lights probably to a cooler light, but you know, things will change over time. I'll talk more specifically about what this room behind me is going to become over the next few weeks later in the video, so make sure you stick around for that. But our first question comes from Tip Top Break. He says, would you ever consider buying custom waist capes and pauldrons for your clones since the Lego ones are always printed? And certainly for a mock or some sort of like custom picture or something, I'm not opposed to doing that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, when I'm reviewing a Lego set, I'm reviewing it on the merits of how it's released and what you get in the box. And for waist capes, when they're not included and they're just lamely printed on, it's always going to be a negative for me, except in a few select cases. There's a few times I think they've been able to get away with it, but generally that sort of thing should be something included, at least maybe as an optional additional thing. Not, you know, you could have it printed and then you can also include the physical piece, and since the physical piece is going to cover up the print anyway, that's okay, but it'll still give children the opportunity to play with their minifigures without these terrible waist capes getting in the way and ruining the experience, or whatever excuse people want to use for waist capes not being on a premium product that has gone up in price a ton over the past couple years. The Stankinator says, I'm a fan of the new diorama sets Lego is doing. The prequels are also my favorite trilogy. What diorama sets would you like to see from the prequels, and what sets do you think we're likely going to get? Likely, we're not going to get a lot of them, but I'll give you one from each movie, and hopefully within the month I'll have a video talking about more broad ideas for episode 3 in 2025, because I know I talked about the UCS stuff the other day, but there's a lot that I would like to see happen in 2025. If we're gonna make a Phantom Menace diorama, I think you really gotta go with the duel between Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon, whether it be that final scene or somewhere within the Theed Palace, like where the doors open. That could be a really cool one. You know, like there's some options there, and I'm sure there's other better options from episode 1 that you guys might have. If I was gonna pick an episode 2 diorama to release, the coolest concept I've seen, plus it would get Jango Fett back in a set, is a Camino diorama where it's the platform outside where you have part of Jango Slave 1. You certainly wouldn't make it big enough to include the whole ship, because that would make the set suddenly become like $150, but you could certainly do something that's small like this custom one on Rebrickable. It looks really amazing, and I would love to see something like that from episode 2. And then I think my favorite idea I've seen for an episode 3 diorama is this unlimited power diorama, where it's basically the latter half of the Palpatine's arrest set, so you're not including the other 3 Jedi, or if you are, they're just on the ground, you know, so they're not going to be in the set, but you'd have Anakin, Mace Windu, and Palpatine with the lightning looks awesome. You'd have his desk, and then of course Anakin chopping off Mace Windu's hand with the broken glass could be a pretty cool part of that scene included. So yeah, Palpatine's arrest would be my go-to if I could only get one episode 3 diorama. I know Mustafar is obviously very high up there for a lot of people and would be pretty cool too. There's some good options out there, and I'll talk more about that in a later video though. Lego Guy says, what figures are you hoping for the $25 Swamp Speeder? This is definitely, to me, the most exciting set of the summer, probably outside of the Yavin 4 playset. And that's unfortunate because there's not a whole lot to be excited about this summer. But, you know, Phase 2 Rex, you can't mark it off as impossible. They could totally make this a 501st Swamp Speeder. We have a 501st ATRT, 501st Bark Speeder. 501st Swamp Speeder definitely could be on the table there. I know a lot of people want to see Commander Bly, maybe Ayla Sakura, and a couple of 327th troopers in there. From what I've seen in the rumor mill, this is not a battle pack, but that doesn't mean it can't include like 1 or 2 general troopers. But I guess if you're asking what I'm hoping for, would be Captain Rex or Commander Bly and a couple of troopers alongside that, or a Jedi or 2, whatever the case would be. I would imagine they stay away from Commander Bly episode 3 because it's Order 66 and they don't want to show clones killing Jedi. I don't really understand that, but that seems to be something they've stayed away from. Brave Sir Robin says, what is your favorite part of your new house/room? We'll just talk about this room specifically. The size. Yeah, I mean, quite simply, this room is going to allow me to do a lot. that includes a MOC series, and I have a small announcement for you at the end of this, but the MOC series hopefully will be hot starting either within the month of March or April, and like I'm really stoked to get into that and that whole building process. And this like room is going to allow me to have a table that is like 96 inches by 48 inches is kind of what I'm going for, and I found this one on Uline that was like $1,300, really expensive, but just massive. And I almost bought it. I wanted to buy it, and I was like, how am I gonna get it in here? And also, like, it's just, you're now stuck with a 8 foot by 4 foot table. I went to Costco today and found some tables that are 2 feet by 4 feet, and so if you combine 4 of those, you end up with the same size as the other one, but you have the ability to change things up if you'd like, and not have a 4 foot by 8 foot table in your room taking up all of the space. So I think I'm gonna go with 4 of those from Costco. They're also like a third of the price altogether, or maybe half the price. It's relatively really cheap compared to what I was going to do. So I'm really happy I was able to find that. And then underneath all of those tables, I'm gonna put something like these Alex drawers from Costco, probably not those specifically because they won't fill the space as much as I'd like. So I need to find something. If anyone has any advice, please in the comments, but I need to find something that will fit kind of as perfect as I can underneath these Costco workbenches, because they are going to be fantastic, and I think I can get them all to be perfectly level, and so I can build something really cool on it. Now, speaking of building, my friends over at JB Spielwarren are running a massive mock contest for Lego Star Wars starting today, March 1st, and it's going to be running all the way through the end of May. So you have 3 months to make a Lego Star Wars mock. They're putting out about $1,000 in prizes, so if you're interested in potentially winning some of that, I'll leave a link for their mock contest down in the description below. I'm going to be one of the judges for the mock contest, so you know, I do like all of Star Wars, but I do like the prequels, so I might be a little predisposed to pick something from the prequels if it's a really cool prequel mock. I'm just saying, definitely get into that mock contest if you're interested in possibly winning one of those prizes. Again, I'll leave the link in the description for you to look into that if that's something you're into. Wraith says, with your new house, will you keep your storage unit or take anything out from it? Make sure to stay organized. Heart. I'm definitely trying to stay organized. You can see a couple of the drawers back there. We're working on it. It's going to take a while, but as far as the storage unit goes, when I got my first storage unit, it was at the same place. It was just a smaller unit. I think it was 5 feet by 10 feet, and now I have like 10 feet by 20 feet. It was maybe like $120 a month. It was not that much. And then I got the bigger one. I think it was like $240 a month, and now they've raised the price twice on me in the course of like a year and a half, and now it's like $300 a month. And I'm like, man, I can't be paying $300 a month for a storage unit. And luckily in the garage of the house I just bought, there are some massive overhead storage bins that like sets like the Mandalorian starfighters that you see in my storage unit. I can just put those in boxes and put them up on the things above my garage. That makes perfect sense to me and is gonna work really well. And eventually I'm gonna get some shelving in there. Right now I've just got a lot of trash from buying new things for the house that has to be gotten rid of on trash day, hopefully. But yeah, eventually I will work it so that I no longer have a storage unit. I'd like to get that done by May or June so that I can cut that $300 payment out of my life. B Cucumber says, if you could pick one clone trooper that Lego has not made for the May 4th promo, what would you want it to be? And there was a little bit of information that came out about the May 4th promo recently, and it's that there's going to be one minifigure and about 280 pieces, I think. I don't remember the exact piece count, but quite a few more pieces, I think, than the kitchen set from last year, which is exciting, although they could just be smaller pieces and then it's the same amount of stuff. But who are we kidding? We care about the minifigure. And if Lego is going to make a clone trooper for May 4th that they haven't made right now, obviously it's the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars, but I gotta go with like a Captain Hauser from the Bad Batch or something. Like, I feel like they have a real opportunity to do something with a current media project, and let's be honest, at the end of the day, they're probably gonna do something from Return of the Jedi. But if I were gonna pick a clone trooper, I'd probably go with Captain Hauser. You know, we're not seeing any Bad Batch sets this summer as far as I'm aware. There's no Bad Batch V-Wing that would have made perfect sense for $35. They're just not doing it. So like, where else is Captain Hauser gonna go? Oh, May 4th promo about a TV show that they've been doing. That would make sense to me. But get ready for like Admiral Akbar and Command Station, which wouldn't be bad, but yeah, it's just not a clone trooper. Ben Miller says, what are your thoughts on becoming a Whatnot seller? Keep up the good work. So I just signed a 1-year deal with Whatnot. Very exciting. So I will be streaming on there a lot more, and obviously selling things. Speaking of, I'll be doing a live stream this Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you sign up with the link down below, get your free $15 credit, and join me where I'll be giving away $500 of free Lego. Why wouldn't you? But I'm not 100% sure if you're asking this question from the perspective of like should you become a whatnot seller, or how have I enjoyed my experience as a whatnot seller? But I'll first talk about what I think would fit a general viewer. I think if you have no social media presence within the Lego space, becoming a Lego whatnot seller is a bit of a tough thing. It's not that simple to like just get people to show up. You do have to kind of advertise yourself and be like, hey guys, I'm doing a live stream a week from now. Hey guys, I'm doing a live stream 5 days from now. And you got to post about this. You got to get people excited. You got to have good stuff. It's a bit of a different vibe when you're trying to get people to come to a place at a time when you want to sell things that are Lego Star Wars or Lego in general. And you just have to do a little bit more legwork versus like other sites where you would sell things where you just list it and it's just there. But I will tell you, I really think it's the most fun way to sell things, except for at the yard sale at Brick Fair, because it's really hard to beat just cash in your hand. But Whatnot, as far as online marketplaces go, is top dog to me. I've had way more fun selling on there than anywhere else. And from my perspective, as I've become a Whatnot seller over the last year, and will obviously continue to do so for the next year and hopefully longer, it's been a really like different experience for me than anything I've really been doing in the Lego space for the last, I don't know, 13 years online. It's been very fun. It's like kind of a different challenge to me. I've met quite a lot of people on Whatnot that specifically sell there, and I know a lot of them do enjoy it. Obviously, like anything, it has its downsides, but if it's something that you think you'd be good at and you can market yourself well enough to get people to show up to your live stream, like I think you'd probably have a good time. The next question could be very sad. Fritz says, what do you think of the rumor of the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom being canceled or delayed? Man, I don't know. I really hope it's not. I'm also a little winded from walking up the stairs with this, but yeah, this is a set that was supposed to get a new version. I brought it here specifically so that I could make a review of the old one and then do a comparison with the new one when I do a review of the new one. And I would be real disappointed if this one got canned. I think it was the biggest playset of the new Indiana Jones wave. I have no idea why they would be canceling it. Maybe it's a production issue, I don't know. I really hope it's not, and we should know more by the end of next month, because I think these are supposed to come out on April 1st. HW Brick says, I've been collecting Lego Star Wars for 10 years now, and I've kept most of the boxes for the sets, but I'm running out of space. Should I keep the boxes or get rid of the boxes? So I'll just give you my like current thoughts on what I'm doing with my boxes, and I've kept my boxes for a long time too. I feel you with the running out of space thing. I'm gonna be honest. As I've moved houses, my connection to those boxes has decreased dramatically. I don't want to drag all of those boxes here. I don't want all of those boxes to take up all of my precious closet space. When it was at my parents' house, it was much different. I was like, oh yeah, let's just throw them up there, whatever. Throw them in there, whatever. But now that it's like my own space that I'm, you know, I bought, I own, whatever, like it's a bit of a different mindset, and I don't know where you are at in life. I assume maybe like 19, 20 years old if you've been collecting for 10 years. And, you know, as you move out, you might reassess that and really decide to throw them out, especially if you have no real future use for them, if you don't intend on selling, even though it won't make a huge difference on most sets. But I think the best advice to give you is to get rid of those boxes. Sever that attachment. It will save you a ton of like just mental strain and space, and you can use the space for literally anything else and feel better about having a less cluttered space. Like, I think you should do that. Shadow says, do you think LEGO will ever release an add-on pack for the Captain Rex and Commander Cody helmet sets to be able to make them both Phase 1 and Phase 2 helmets, or a helmet minifig pack that has every minifig that has been made into a helmet set? This would be great for Captain Rex and Commander Cody minifigs. Yeah, not happening on the minifig pack side of things, and almost certainly not happening as far as a modification pack for the current helmets. As great as that would be, I would imagine that would be something that would come out day of with the helmet sets. So that's, I just don't see that happening. But I did have another idea that might be pretty good for Lego Clone Trooper helmet sets, because realistically, like, they're not gonna make a Shock Trooper, a 327th Trooper, a 501st Trooper, a 442nd Trooper, a 187th Trooper, like all of these Phase 2 helmet sets that you and I might want. It's just never happening. Make your own, make your mock, whatever. That's the most likely outcome of any of this, to be honest. They're unlikely to do any of the ideas that either of us have here. My thought process was, you do a main set, you know, a Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet set. You could do this with Phase 1 as well, just to a lesser extent, I feel. But you do a Phase 2 helmet set that's just the plain white helmet for a Clone Trooper, and then you have an add-on pack that has the parts to add-on color stripes for like 5 or 10 different clone troopers. So your base clone trooper is $70. Your add-on pack is, depending on how many clone troopers it would allow you to make different versions of, between $30 and $60, or maybe even a full $70 too. And here's where your money's made if you're Lego. You have your base clone trooper that's $70. You have your add-on pack that allows you to make 10 more different clone troopers for $70 more. That's $140 of sales. Pretty good. But if you get lunatics like me and you, now all of a sudden you have us buying 10 of the base clone trooper in one of the add-on packs to have all 10 different clone troopers, and there you have $770 of sales instead of just $70 of sales. Hydrogene says, would you buy the Lego Star Wars mechs if it wasn't for reviews? If I was not a completionist collector nor a reviewer on YouTube for Lego Star Wars or Lego in general, no, I wouldn't buy the mechs. There would be no reason for me to buy a Boba Fett, Stormtrooper, or Darth Vader mech, because any self-respecting Lego Star Wars collector already has all of those figures. How would you not have a Boba Fett, a Darth Vader, or a Stormtrooper at this point if you've been collecting for more than 3 years, right? Like, I get it if you're new, but like there's just no way you don't fall face first into getting a Darth Vader at this point. You have the TIE Bomber or something, you know, like it just happens because they release so many sets with these characters. So yeah, I wouldn't, but I'm going to. And it does bring me to the point of, I'm sure I'll get the comments when I make the reviews about the mechs, because ultimately I don't think I will like them. People will comment, why did you buy it if you don't like it? And I'm like, what's the point of making only reviews on things I like? Then you could never get a different perspective on anything. Watch the reviews from the ambassadors if you only ever want to hear good things about Lego sets. I don't really get that perspective. It's like I watch Linus Tech Tips, and he's, you know, he'll review something and not like it, and I don't sit there like, well, why did he buy it if he doesn't like it? I'm like, no, I want to watch the review to find out if this thing is good or bad, not to find out if Linus likes it or not necessarily. Yeah, I wouldn't buy them, but I'm going to, and I'm going to enjoy reviewing them. Adam says, how is your collection of every Lego Star Wars set going? Any hiccups or tough hurdles yet to cross? I mean, I'm going backwards right now. I did my big Whatnot moving sale a couple weeks ago, sold a ton of stuff, and I appreciate any of you guys who were there. But a lot of that included used Lego Star Wars sets that I've had in my collection, like the 2015 Sith Infiltrator. I had that set, and now I don't have that set. Now I need to go buy a sealed one, make a review of it. And yeah, I mean, the process of buying every Lego Star Wars set to me is not like a difficult one. It's just buy the thing. Like, I don't know. I don't look at it as a difficult thing. It's more of like getting the money to buy the thing that's difficult. And I, to some degree, purposefully spread it out to not spend all of my money at once, but also because I want to review them as I go and make videos on all of it so that I have a complete catalog of Lego Star Wars reviews and content that people can watch at any time if they want to find out if a set is good or bad, or just for the entertainment aspect of it. But if you're mentioning hiccups, the biggest one has to be that I sold a lot of it in the past few weeks. I just, you know, the First Order Star Destroyer, I guess I've sealed one of that, so that one's actually okay, but I just don't have a lot of sets that I had a year ago because I sold my dusty versions and I'm gonna buy clean versions eventually. It's just a matter of time, but I'm not in a rush to complete my collection, honestly. Like, it'll just happen eventually, and I'm not worried about any of these sets in particular appreciating a whole ton in value. It's not like I look at the 2015 Kylo Ren shuttle and I'm like, well, if I don't buy it today for $150, tomorrow it'll be $1,000, because it's just not going to happen. That set's pretty bad in the whole scheme of things. So I've kind of got most of the rare ones I want, and then like everything else is just kind of like newer, lamer stuff that's like, yeah, it's from the sequels, no one cares about it, and it's gonna be fine. James Bott says, you spoke a while ago about a $15,000 Captain Rex statue. I think it'd be a cool thing for your new house once things have calmed down. Look, I'd love to get this sort of thing. The price I was hoping would be $10K. There's one on eBay right now for $20K. There's a private sale potentially for $10K. I think the guy still has it. I don't really know what's going on with that, and as of now, I don't think I'm getting a Captain Rex statue, but hopefully maybe in the future, you know, if anyone has one that they're selling and want to strike a good deal, I'm interested. I have a great spot for it in my living room. It's a nice corner, perfectly square. I think it's big enough for this Captain Rex statue and its base that is perfectly square as well. He would look real nice there. I wouldn't actually put him there. He would go in the studio at Orlando Brick Co. on the left side of my like shelving setup. So, you know, my two black shelves, and there's a third black shelf at my house, but instead there'd be like a Captain Rex there. But yeah, as of now, no Captain Rex statue, sad face Megamind meme or whatever. Salvador wants to know if this is the worst summer wave ever for Lego Star Wars, says he started buying 1 year ago after 20 plus years, and he's actually disappointed, but his wallet is happy. Maybe I'll be able to buy Rivendell. Dude, I'm buying Rivendell this Sunday too. I don't blame you if you want that one. That one looks so fancy. Can't wait to make a video about that. But yeah, this very likely is the worst summer wave ever. I haven't really gone back through the history like recently and really thought about it, but I mean, there's only one set I'm really that excited for, and that's Yavin, the Swamp Speeder by default, because it might have clone troopers, right? But like, I don't know, man. Does like the Swamp Speeder, if it has Captain Rex, make it a great summer wave? No, it doesn't. The Swamp Speeder might be a good set. Yavin 4 might be a great set. 2 sets don't make a wave. If you look back at the past couple of summer waves, there are some flaws. There are some problems that are pretty obvious, or less few summer waves even. I've done like overview videos, and I just look back at those thumbnails now, and I'm like, that was really good. That was really good. And I don't want to let my nostalgia goggles blind me, because the ATTE Clone Trooper helmet issue persists and is awful and it's terrible, and those are probably the worst thing ever. But the wave as the whole is still really, really good. Like, you can't deny that. You know, one flaw doesn't ruin a wave, just like one good Captain Rex minifigure in a $25 set, if that ends up being the case, doesn't make the wave good this year. So yeah, I think this year's summer wave is one of the most disappointing things, and it really does hinge on the Ahsoka sets. The couple Ahsoka sets, you know, might be make or break for some people, but I really think having 3 of your spots taken up by mechs, and then you have the Chewbacca buildable character, that's 4 pretty big duds for a lot of people to begin with. I mean, I know a lot of people like Chewbacca, but it's not an exciting set. It's like a UCS X-Wing. It's not exciting. It's just, here's a UCS X-Wing, here's Chewbacca, here's UCS R2-D2. All of these original trilogy things, just, it doesn't bring the same hype that a lot of other stuff does, let's just be honest. Like, Yavin is even original trilogy though, and it has hype because it's something fresh, it's an original idea. And Chewbacca, I guess, hasn't been done as a big buildable character for $200 yet, but like, it's still Chewbacca, and he's not that exciting. They throw him in a set every other year, so there's that. But yeah, I think it's a pretty disappointing wave for a lot of people. There will certainly be a highlight here or there for a couple of sets where people are like, yeah, this is good, but don't make the wave good. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you think this summer 2023 wave is the worst Lego Star Wars summer wave ever, at least for what we have rumored so far. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'm excited to take advantage of all this awesome space. I'll see you next time. Peace out.